Good morning, everybody. Welcome to Exploring the Ka. I'm Ra Castaldo. This is my Fae Chronicles, and I also could be practically expert on Etruscan mythology and Etruscan lore. My family direct descendants from them, and so this is going to tie into my Fae Chronicles and different beings that can be classified as Fae, and different tales that can be classified as beings of the Fae. This one, it's going to be like kind of my library of encounters that I have dug up over hundreds of years. These all come from. This one is the file, the Fae Chronicle Vira, V-I-R-A. And Vira, I was able to find the following account of the story of Vira. Vira was a fairy, or a fate, and in her life she became a spirit who by day and night is always in the forest. When she sees any handsome young man busy cutting wood or making charcoal, or if he pleases her in any way when she sees him, either by eye or she finds him fascinating in some way, then she'll appear to him in a form of a beautiful girl. In Italian they call it da farne a bagliare, such as to and that's like a beautiful girl, such to dazzle him, and then he finds his work all done by his hand, or else she shows him a treasure. So one day she found a handsome youth who was in great sorrow because he was so poor, and he began cutting wood, and while he was cutting wood in the forest he began to weep, and while doing so, because he could bring nothing home to his mother, Vira appeared. And Vira appeared and said to him, "Buon Giovanni, non ti dispiare, a far fortuna ti voglia mandare, ve in un piccolo stare vicina e Benevento." Now this means, good youth, be not in despair. There's a small place near Benevento. And then the rest, Ci aspetta il mago delle sette teste. Ci vale e mangliarla la aspetta a sedare al balcone, ma però basta, c'è una vada con le teste del mago, che sia stato capace del ammazzarlo. That means, good youth, be not in despair. There's a small place near Benevento where dwells a king who has a daughter who's fair, who awaits for this seven-headed ogre, who will devour her. But her father there hopes that someone will come along and slay him and bring the ogre's head unto him. Now, the day will pass when somebody who does this will be able to wed the princess. Now this ogre has been slain by this guy, Signor Slaniani, that's some Italian name, huh? Slaniani, who now carries the head to the king to claim the hand of his daughter. But that is reserved for thee and not for him. So this was reserved for the guy who had the encounter with Vira, and not Mr. Slaniani. For when the heads were put on a wagon to be carried to the king, Vira took from them the 7 tongues. So Vira says to this guy, carry these tongues to the king and say that you slayed the ogre and now you have the tongues and then you want to claim his daughter. Then the king will say that it was another who gained the victory, the proof being that he has the heads. And then you will reply, who should be the conqueror, the one who has the heads or the tongues? And it will be admitted that the victor would have secured the tongues, although he might have neglected the heads, but it would be most unlikely that he would have cut out and thrown away the tongues. And thus did Vira. The youth was clad in splendid attire. He too was very beautiful. Boldly he went to the king. Boldly he claimed to have slain single-handedly the ogre, and asked for the beautiful princess as a reward for his valor. "It may not be," said the king. "He who slew the monster has brought me the heads. No better proof can be found." "A better proof is the tongues," replied the youth, undaunted, "and I can show you all the 7. But the Signor Slaniani maintained that these were not the tongues of the ogre, because no one could have taken the tongues from the heads, which has never been out of my sight. Then the king said, "Well, then bring here the heads. If they all have their tongues, the princess shall be your wife, and this youth shall be cast into prison. But if the tongues are gone with them are your chances, and you'll be a prisoner then, and the youth shall have the maiden." But as he had no witnesses, Signor Slaniani depended on the heads, and what was his amazement to find that the tongues were gone. Therefore it came to pass that the youth, who was favored by the help of the fairy, carried away the reward. So it often goes in this world. Those who with hard work often misses the pay, and when someone favored by fortune steps in and secures the prize, higher beings than man play with us like toys. The youth was as nothing in this. All that he won he owed to the loving spirit Vira. I don't know how loving it is, but he owed Vira, and most likely he owed Vira his soul. And you could see, it even said how these spirits play with us like toys. They conduct us like orchestras. And this is another Fae Chronicle of the Fae Vira. Spiral out.